What is up, Facebook? How are you doing? More importantly, besides how are you doing, I want to know, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling good. Because a mentor once told me, and it stuck with me, when you feel good, you know what we say, you will flat out do good. How about that? How pumped up are we? It's spring. Spring snow, spring grass, spring flowers, spring riding. Everything be springing. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Joshua's on. Who's all on right now? Shelby, David's up. What's up, Josh? Kelly, Logan, Craig, Trevor. How is everybody doing tonight? Feeling like a champ. Pumped up. Yes, sir, David. I am too. I'm stoked to share with you my guest tonight. Shelby Paget. He's from Boise, Idaho. Killer dude, crushing it in several different arenas right now, and I'm excited. I'm so excited to share a story with you guys and hopefully get some value from it. If you do, help us grow this out. Share this project. Let's get them viewer numbers up. Push them up. Push them up. Let's get it going. Right on. What is this? This is Driven. What are you going to get out of it tonight? You're going to get 4 things out of it tonight. Number 1, you're going to get to meet Shelby, hear his story, and hear what more life means to him. Number 2, you're going to learn that no matter what, you can do it. Take whatever you got, jump into the arena, and you can do it. Number 3, you're going to get practical examples of how to commit and do it with persistence and stick with it. Number 4, I'll drop an outsider's view of an inside opinion on if you were a realtor, if I was a realtor, what I would do for my business for massive influence. And it has a lot to do with Facebook Live. Do you see the value in this tool? Do you see what Mark Zuckerberg gave us here? It's a gift, and if you use it right and you use it properly and you do it and you have fun with it, you can grow your business, you can grow your brand, you can grow yourself, you can grow your following, you can grow whatever you want, or you can grow your confidence and get in front of a crowd and speak and learn that skill. What is this? Who am I? My name is Scott. If you know me, thank you for coming back. If this is your first time, let me know where you're calling in from. I would appreciate it. Drop your state, drop your town, drop whatever you want. Put it in the comments so I know you're there. I'm Scott. I'm a dad. I'm a sledder. And about a year ago, I wrote my vision down. I wrote down what I wanted to do. Up until that point, I just been kind of driving, just rolling through just taking life as she comes. What's up, Larry? Thanks for coming on. Rolling through life, doing what I needed to do to get by. Always getting by. Always kind of on the defense, if you know what I mean. I was reacting to situations. About a year ago, I wrote my vision down. I figured out exactly what I want to do, and I went to work on it. I had to learn. I had to fail. I tried a few different things, and number 1, what I realized the most important thing was to be me. Be authentic, be true, be real with everybody. And so I try to do that with you. I try to be real with this. I try to be raw with this. And I try to keep it fun and lighthearted. But there's a bigger message here. My message is you can do anything you want to do. Just like your mom probably told you, or your dad might have told you, or somebody told you along the way. But it's really true. And we forget it as adults sometimes that we can do anything we want to do. It just takes time, and it definitely takes work. So what is this? This is Driven. It's a show I created. It's a place to come, grow your network, grow your mindset, have some fun, share your story, and hopefully connect with people that will help you do the things you want to do in your life. It's for people that are crushing it, like Shelby, that want to crush it, like Shelby, that didn't even know what crushing it was about, like myself, and maybe a little bit like Shelby before he jumped into this. So what are you going to get out of it tonight? I told you you're going to get 4 things, but the most important thing is I hope you get some value from it, and you're going to get to meet Shelby and hear his story. So if you do, share this out. Boom, boom, boom. Share it out. We're going to bring him up. I got a little story for you before we get started. A little bit of background into myself. 6 years ago, for instance, I walked into a job interview, and I walked into a power plant, which I knew nothing about. I had no idea about the power generation industry, and it might not sound that exciting to most people, but to me, it was a job close to home. It was stable, and it provided a future for me, and I knew nothing about it. asked me a couple questions in the interview, and I'm like, I don't know. I got a great work ethic. I got a great education. I can learn anything, and I'm a hard worker. And they're like, well, that checks off all the boxes for me. So I went into that power plant, and I tackled it. 6 years later, I've learned how to do the power plant. When I got into there, when I walked into the control room, it could have been really easy to be intimidated. There was a lot of highly trained, highly educated people, a lot of people that grew up with like a Navy nuclear program background, and very intelligent human beings, and great to learn from, but it could have been intimidated. Number one, not knowing a thing. Number two, having no experience, or number three, having no experience. Number three, it was new and it was uncomfortable. What up, Chris? We're having fun tonight. Tyler, thanks for coming on. Anyway, I dove into the books. I started putting the work in. I started reading. I told myself that no matter what, I was going to learn it and I was going to figure it out, because I told them I would. They gave them my word that I'd figure it out, and I did exactly that. And I got a lot of learning left to do, and there's so much more in the industry that I could learn and do to grow and to be better at. But the fact of the matter is I had zero experience in it. I just had a good work ethic, the ability to learn, and I was determined to make it work. And that's the difference. 6 years ago, fast forward till today, I've positioned myself as a senior operator and kind of the go-to guy for things regarding the plant and how to operate it and how day-to-day runs. And I'm extremely thankful for the opportunity to be able to do that, number one, but I'm more proud of the accomplishment of taking something I knew nothing about, turn it into a full-time career. And that's what we're doing here. That's what Driven is. That's what this is about, is taking something you know nothing about, putting in the drive, putting in the work, putting in the persistence, and being able to continue on and get to where you want to go. And I know exactly where I want to go. Be a better dad, improve where I ride, improve how I ride, and also generate some income, help some people, and change some lives along the way through social media and the tool that Mark Zuckerberg gave us. What's up, Coon? How you doing, brother? Snow Bros are on. West Slope, California riders. Heck of a crew there. Who else is on? Todd, thank you. Emily, glad you're here. Aaron, appreciate your time. How's everybody doing tonight? Drop it in the comments. Are you feeling good? And if you're feeling good, I know you're doing good. Again, if this is your first time here, I'm Scott. Share this out. If you want to wait till the end to share it out to see if it is valuable, that's your choice. But let's get some people on here when it's live. What's up, Steve? Devin, thank you guys for coming on here. Like I said, our guest tonight, his name is Shelby Paget. He comes from California. He's currently in Boise, Idaho. He's a realtor. He's a dirt bike rider, mountain bike rider, adventure, YouTuber, vlogs, Instagram's blowing up. The dude's putting in work. What up, bro? Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Curtis. Appreciate you coming on. Just doing my thing. This is what I do on the internet a little bit. And he's a heck of a guy. About 6-8 months ago, I reached out to Shelby because of a business venture I was doing at the time. Got to know him a little bit. Stayed in touch with him. And started seeing what he was doing on social media, and started seeing what he was doing with his career, and just watching and seeing what he was progressing in. And I'm like, holy cow, this dude's got it going on, man. He's putting the work in to be able to do the things he wants to do and make the impact that he wants to make. And that's what Driven's about right there. And I'm like, you got to get on the show, man. So he's here. Tyler, oh yeah, Shelby's brother's on. Both these guys kill it, cutting edits up, riding dirt bikes, living life, being passionate, and having fun is what it looks like to me. So, since then, I've watched him grow on his social media platform, and he pours his personality into it, and that's what the coolest thing was. It's each one of us, just like this show, gets my personality. It takes this on. He transmits that excellently across his social media platforms, and he's really crushing it, whether he says he is or not. He's leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of other people in the industries, and I'm super stoked to have him on and introduce you guys to him. So while I bring him up, let's do, how about drop a 2 in the comments if this is your first time watching this show. Number 2, drop a number 2 for me, and if you're on the replay, write a replay on there so I know I can reach out to you and thank you. Brandon from Balls Racing checking you out. Hill climbs this weekend. Oh, I wish I was there. We got to do a Driven next year. There's so much drive on that hill. Shane, what's up, brother? Can't connect with you at the races this weekend. We're going to be up in Tahoe for the AMA snow bike races there. It's a makeup date right over the top of Jackson Hole. It should be fun. High Country Octane Sled Diction 6 film premiere after the races. Super pumped about that. Let me bring Shelby on before I get too sidetracked. Invitation sent. He'll be coming up in a minute. We'll jam out a little bit. How's everybody doing? Shanksy Saturday, you bet, brother. I'm trying to get to... Oh, dude, come on out, man. Let's do this. See you there, buddy. Yes, sir. It'll be fun. Tahoe, that's right. Let me know, David, if you need a ride from the airport. I'll pick you up on my way. Bye. Just hit me up. Where you at? There he is. Come on up.
What's up?
Not much. How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm feeling good. If you can't tell, I'm a little pumped up.
I know. Your energy's contagious, man. I can't. It's a little intimidating coming on your show now that I've been watching you gain audience members and watch everybody come on.
Thank you. I got a little secret to tell you. I may caffeinate a little bit prior to the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
a little competition.
Yeah, I might depend a little bit on caffeine at times, but no, dude, it fires me up doing this. It's funny how much adrenaline you can get out of it, and I'll go like an hour after this. I'm still just jacked up. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, the people you bring on, it's always cool because it's just people passionate about, hobbies and interests and things that we all connect to, and it's just cool. Every time I see you pop up, I end up watching for a couple, 30 seconds, and all of a sudden I'm hooked and I end up watching the whole show.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do. That's cool. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. How was your day today? You have a good day today? Things going good?
Yeah, I had a great day, man. I actually picked up a new bike.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. Ended up settling on the KTM 152 stroke. So a small bore, full-size bike that is going to be pretty fun to watch as I beat it up on the track.
Nice. You've been on that journey trying to pick a bike out for a little while now. Decided to go with, huh?
I had a 2017 Honda CRF 450 last year. I had the opportunity to test the 450s with Vital MX, the website, and the Honda was my favorite. So I actually ended up picking one up as soon as I got back home. And so I rode that for the year, sold it in December since, it's been a little cold out here in Boise, not quite California weather during the winter. Right? That's your time of year. You go out on the sled.
Yeah, that's prime.
And so I've been kicking around some ideas, going back to the two strokes. I grew up on them. I absolutely love just being on a two stroke. It's just pure fun. I don't race competitively at this time. I haven't for quite a while actually. And I just really enjoy being on the two stroke platform. And the 150 kind of suits me best because I'm still a pretty lightweight guy. And that thing's got almost as much horsepower as my YZ250 did, so it's kind of cool.
Really? I mean, that fills a great gap, honestly.
Yeah.
It looks like a nimble, light, but pulling two-stroke, which looks rad. I've watched a ton of videos on them. I haven't been on one, but
I think it's like 192 pounds or something like that, and I think it's around 43 horsepower at peak. So you got to wring it out to get there, but it's there, and it's today was the first day on it. It was pretty fun. I went out to a local track, Oahe Motorcycle Club out here, and that's actually a pretty historical track. Bob Hanna's ridden out there, and they had some national events there back in, I believe, the late 60s or 70s too, which is pretty cool. It's about 10 minutes from my house, so not a bad setup. But as soon as I got there, Boise weather changes. They say if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. As soon as I got my gear on and my helmet, these clouds rolled in. It started raining, but me and my buddies, we went out there anyways and got some laps in, and it was super fun. So I'm stoked I went out there.
Nice. Well, perfect, man. Yes, that is a good day. The Law dropped on. What's up, Law? That cat that just jumped on, Lawrence Thompson, kind of helped me press play on this show. back when I started.
Oh,
He's
cool.
like, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to reach out to people. And he's like, man, just start, just freaking do it. And like 3 days later, I'm like, boop, play. What up? My name's Scott. It was
And
awesome.
at first, I bet it was awkward, right? I mean,
Oh my
I've
God, it was
experienced doing
uncomfortable.
social is weird at first because you're like, this doesn't feel natural, you know?
I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm staring at a camera, talking to myself, and I'm like, I got to get somebody else on the show, so I'm not just like, hey, what's up, Facebook
Yeah.
Live? It was weird. So this makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's definitely cool having two people on. I haven't dabbled into the full live thing yet. I've worked on it and used it for real estate stuff, primarily with hosting some house walkthroughs, which has been tremendous. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the power behind that's awesome. You'll get 5,000-6,000 views in 24 hours, which is just unheard.
Yep.
So it's cool.
You can't call that many people.
No.
And they ain't gonna, that many people rarely are going to come by your open house too. So
Yeah.
Yep, that's it, man. We got a turbo right here for business, for life, for whatever aspect you're trying to promote or bring awareness to or share. Thank you, Facebook.
Yeah.
Let's embrace it.
Do you find yourself like
Right.
still finding out new ways to use it and like all these new
Oh, dude.
with just the internet and social in general?
I haven't even begun to tap it. Like I've scraped it. Like I've like got a taste of the foam off the top. Like that's it. It's hard trying to juggle, especially multiple platforms where you're like,
Oh yeah.
I didn't even get on Instagram today. Whoops. It happens.
No, it's cool.
So if you're just hopping on right now, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in tonight. Our guest tonight is Shelby Paget. He's from Boise, Idaho. He's a realtor, dirt bike rider, and he's got a killer story about more life, basically. That's what I titled this show is more life. And I'm like, it kind of fits that. I'm all in. I'm going to go do what I need to do to be able to do the things that I want to do later. So that's what we want to share with you guys tonight. So thank you guys. Share this out. Thank you, Law. Appreciate that.
For sure.
All right. So you ready? You want to dive into a first couple questions?
Yeah, bring it on.
Nice. All right. So I've told a little bit about you, but let's go into it a little bit more. If you're going to spit out a 5-minute story of the process that gets you to where you're sitting right now, what would it be?
Man, 5 minutes. Might be 5 beers, right?
Yeah.
So
Wednesday night.
I grew up in beautiful California in the Bay Area, in the heart of Silicon Valley in Cupertino. That house I actually grew up in is a mile away from Apple headquarters, which is pretty crazy to see how that's transitioned over the years.
Oh yeah.
You know, grew up riding was my passion. Still I'm obsessed with it. You know, I can't get enough of it, even if I can barely get out of bed. And it's what's kind of been a main route for my whole life, you know. Of course, family and my faith has been a huge influencer as well. But for what I enjoy doing has just been moto through and through. And it's driven most of the things that I've done in life because moto's not inexpensive. Mm-hmm. Neither is sledding. And so, you know, I ended up getting a job when I was 11 or 12 years old, sweeping a dealership floor for $4 an hour just to get some money to save up for my first dirt bike. And ended up getting a KX100, 95 KX100 to start riding a real bike. And things just kind of developed over there.
Rode one of them.
That way. You know, I went to Cupertino, graduated, had a great group of friends there, and went to Sonoma State, graduated with a business and marketing degree. Like many folks, I had no clue what I was going to do and had this education, this diploma, and not much of a next step. I ended up going on Craigslist at the time when it was still new, and I was sitting on my big desktop in my dorm room.
All deep on the back. Huge.
Yeah. There was this sales job that was advertised back home in the Bay Area, and it was like, you get a salary and you get benefits and this and that. And I was like, cool. You know, I graduated in 2009. Like nobody in the business department had a job graduating. I think I was one of 3 folks that walked with an offer already signed. So I ended up taking this tech sales job. I had no clue what tech sales was or that industry. I was just dabbling into getting a cell phone myself a few years before that. And
Nice.
It was pretty awesome because it's just crazy to see how life evolves and the things that you learn in each part of those career points how they influence where you're at today. I started off in basically like hit 'em hard sales, you know, picking up and making 100+ calls a day, prospecting, cold calling, and closing people on the phone. And, you know, we were expected to close 20 new businesses a month. And that was hard, but it was fun because everything was fast paced. I like to be moving. I like energy. I like to feel successful, accomplishing something, right? And so it progressed, moved into higher level sales positions over the years in Silicon Valley, got to travel around the nation and work with amazing people, awesome mentors that really helped me differentiate what was necessary to have success, what was necessary in balance, in family relationships, everything. So it was cool. Ended up moving to Boise in about a little over 2 years ago now, actually, which is time flies. And
flies by.
yeah, I left with a job in technology still. I was an outside rep, making, you know, in most cases, really good money. And not actually, I wasn't passionate about work that much. I was doing the job, of course. I've always been a performer. And got to a point where it was just a job, and it was what allowed me to do what I love to do: ride, mountain bikes, skate, trucks, cars, whatever it was, right? And I always had fun with that, and that was kind of my balance. And then the company, they're a $47 billion company at the time. They ended up, basically, I was in the new technology department. They got an acquisition going with HPE, and they literally just nicked the whole department for technology across the whole company. And that was me. So now I was in Boise, which isn't Silicon Valley when it comes to technology sales. You know, the pay calibration's different, everything's different, the progression, it's just not Silicon Valley. And so I actually ended up taking quite a bit of time off, like 5 or 6 months. I went to Costa Rica. I did a mountain bike film trip, and with a buddy of mine, Andrew Taylor, who's awesome, and he's awesome on social too, and driven dude. We got to film out there and publish that with some of his sponsors and stuff. I went home, saw my family a ton. I rode SoCal a ton, did some things with Vital, of course, because it's super fun. And ended up just taking a step back, saying, look, I wasn't happy, you know, fully happy in this career. There's amazing parts of that career. They're, you know, I'm blessed to be in it, just as most people with great jobs. And, but it wasn't as fulfilling as what I'd want in my own life. So, and it was kind of scary. I worked my butt off building pipeline for these guys and getting deals teed up to close and closing deals. And all of a sudden the rug's pulled out from under you. And I'm like, man, I have so much potential this year, and yet I can't execute. And so I sat around, I figured it out, took some time and thought about what I wanted to do that could meet, you know, my income potential goals, support my hobbies and my lifestyle, which is, I like an extremely flexible lifestyle. Like, you know, I rode today, I picked up a bike this morning. Sometimes I work till 1 a.m. It doesn't, you know, it's just kind of flexible. And real estate became kind of a focal point because I've bought 2 houses up here in Idaho already. And the process was pretty dismal, to be honest, in some regards. And I come from corporate America where, you know, you have to be a polished professional and know your stuff. And so when I'd going through these contracts and these negotiations, I was like, well, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, I'm helping fill in the voids here. So I was able to apply everything I've learned in 9 years of high-tech, fast-paced sales in Silicon Valley to building my own business where there wasn't a rug to be pulled out from underneath me unless I did it myself. And applying all those tools for prospecting, cold calling, interactions, and scheduling to my own business, and I get to reap all the benefits of it. So that's how I started it. You know, got licensed. I did my whole licensing classes and everything within 21 days, which is pretty quick. And ground running, yeah. And I'll tell you, it sure wasn't easy, and you know, there's still plenty of difficult times, but it is also incredibly rewarding to understand what is happening in my life, and what I'm building is part of me, just like my brand with Moto and how that works. It's my business is me. It's a reflection of who I am and how I am. So I think that's the biggest value we have to bring to the table when we do whatever it is we do, is us. Who are we, and what are we doing to better enhance the people around us? Whether that's in real estate, whether it's in sales, whether it's, you know, dog walking, whatever it is you do, it doesn't matter.
At the track.
Yeah. And you'll see, you know, there's people that make millions of dollars doing the most, what you would think, insignificant jobs. And you're like, what's the difference here? And it's them. And so
it's them, and they facilitate something between two people, and they be themselves. Yeah.
And it's just it's a brand. Now it's a brand. You know, before it's your personality and who you are, your integrity, and character. And now it's your business, it's your hobbies, it's everything, and these things intertwine. You know, majority of my clients are from California who ride dirt bikes, which is so cool. And that makes my job, you know, the parts that may not be as exciting within real estate, they become even more exciting because it's people I mesh with. And, you know, they come to Idaho, and we do track tours, you know, regularly. I do track tours. We take yeah. And they're like, man, that's so cool. Like, you understand us. And of course, you know, I facilitate to a lot of other folks as well. But it's just nice to have something a little bit deeper with some of my clients.
Yes.
That's probably not 5 minutes, but that's about.
I don't care, dude. There was so much in that I got to listen to it on rewind, but I mean, you hit a couple big things there, and you just kind of right over it. I mean, the mentorship you received early on in your career to set you up to get to where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
Recommitting to yourself and your values to find something to be able to pursue your lifestyle that you desired. Like, there's a ton of message in that one. So no, 5 minutes. That's just a recommendation.
And it's not easy, you know. People hit me up all the time, and they hit up a lot of people that step out, and they're like, oh, especially real estate, because it has this shiny object to it where you jump into real estate and you make tons of money, and that's awesome. Yeah, that potential is there, but you better be ready to work, and you better be able to stress and strain in the beginning stages and make sure that you pour into the business what you expect to be poured back to you.
That's it. And work with no guaranteed income on the back end of it.
Yeah, I came from a plush setup, man. I had a great salary, I had commission, I had benefits, 401k, matching, like dental, health. I'd never had to think about these things, you know? And, you know, I mean, even just the smallest thing, going from, if you're working in corporate America, there's a ton of people have a normal job, right? Where you've got an employer. I went to go buy my KTM, and, you know, you need 2 years minimum 1099 generally for income if you're going to do a loan, right? And it's like, just things like that. You're like, wait, what? How did that work? You know?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so I'm still learning so many different things about it, but it's been fascinating for personal growth. You know, there's times when I get frustrated and stuff, of course, but you persist through. There isn't an option for failure in my mindset, period.
Love it. No, failure is not an option. That's the biggest thing.
We talked the other day. Failure happens, definitely, for sure. I've failed 1,000 times in 100 different ways, but it's not the end result. It's not what I'm striving for as an end result, nor what will I accept as a result. You know.
Yeah, it's a failure if you stop afterwards. You know,
exactly.
Like there's cliche after cliche. Failure is failure. It happens. Everybody fails at stuff. It's if you stop and end it right there, and then it's concrete in a failure. It's not a lesson or a way to grow from it. It's just done. You're done. You failed at it, and it's over.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that. So.
Nope. And that's a mindset, and it's developed from great upbringing. My dad always taught me to work hard. My parents have always enabled that, and it's persisted through my mentors and the people you latch on to. You know, I've had my butt chewed out certain managers, and other ones have been, you know, in a different way motivating. So it's different people and different points in your life.
I saw a question from Dylan go by. Did you get your realtor's license while you were recovering from surgery?
No. Thank goodness. One of those times.
Well, if you guys...
Yeah, knock on wood, I haven't had a major injury for quite a while, so it's been good. Last time I had surgery, my brother Tyler and I pretty much tried to become experts at MX Reflex.
Hmm. Isaac's on. What's up, Isaac? Thanks for popping on. Eric, again, if you guys are just jumping on, this is Shelby Paget up in Boise. We're talking mindset, we're talking realty, and we're talking dirt bikes. Share this out. I hope you get some value from it. And if you don't, thank you for your time. But please just share it. We're trying to do some work here. Love it. All right. Mindset. Let's go into mindset.
For sure.
We just touched on it about failure, but I want to know the mindset behind that. There was a little process there that you said you took like 6 months off before, kind of figuring out or going the direction you wanted to do. What type of mindset do you take into, say, like that situation, or, really anything, whether it be your racing or just riding in general life? What type of mindset and how do you approach day-to-day stuff?
So what happened with work was I got to a point where I realized, and obviously finances are important, but I realized I always say to my close circle that I was kind of handcuffed with golden handcuffs, right? It was like, really, am I going to throw this opportunity away just because I might be unhappy here and there? That's not right. It's too good of an opportunity. I'm too blessed to be able to be a part of it. And when they had that RIF or reduction in force across the nation in that department that I was in, I was like caught off guard. So it forced me a moment of pause in my life that I otherwise would not have taken. And in that pause, I said, this is the one time I have a gap in career. I have some money set aside. Let me just unwind and get back to kind of a root of what I am without these influences with corporate or with work or whatnot, and just see what happens. And so through that time, I traveled internationally. I rode some of the most amazing jungle spots in Costa Rica and surfed with some buddies. And
which one do I press?
Went all over home too. So it was kind of cool being able to just have that reflection period. And then that helped influence my mindset to really see, okay, where do I want to be? Yes, I want to be in Boise. What do I want to do in Boise? I don't want to work for someone again. And what can I do that I enjoy and that I find value in for others, where I can bring my skill sets in and actually bring something to the table that most people may not be able to. And I have a huge background in sales and negotiation and understanding value and proposition from both sides, which help my clients tremendously.
Yeah.
And this is also on the moto side of things, like that happened completely organically. Started about 4 years ago when I started posting, and people would make fun of me so much about my hashtags and my photos and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, you're going to go something. But that mindset of seeing a little, I didn't know it was going to turn into what it is now. It's been awesome. Like, I'm working with some of the coolest companies in my perspective. I've worked with Recluse and Promoto Billet and Fly Racing locally here, which are huge influencers in the industry. And those relationships are amazing, and I'm able to actually bring some sort of value to them at this point because of what I started doing 4 years ago. People are like,
there you go.
How do you do? Oh, why do you get this? I'm going to hit people up. And it's like, yeah, but it didn't happen overnight. And, real estate.
You don't get to,
Yeah. And so
you don't get 10,000 followers on Instagram by going, hey, look at a cool picture of me. It's devoting 4 years of that and interacting and engaging with other people and being consistent and showing up and doing that sort of stuff. So
even from the fun side, the hobby side, I apply some of my business experience to that side of things, which people love, like with some of the gear company, Fly Racing, they've been incredible to work with and they're awesome. But I try to give them either a quarterly or a semi-annual update on what the reach has been, what the feedback has been, what type of content I've been in that's been mainstream or produced on websites and magazines, This last year was cool. I got to be featured in a Finland magazine, like similar to like a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty sick. and one other magazine somewhere in Europe, and it was pretty funny, just to see that,
Nice.
you know, this post pictures on Instagram evolved into me having these incredible opportunities in a sport that I am head over heels for.
I want to point something out to, I don't know, my audience is generally a little bit older. There's not a lot of young guys that watch this, but so many people think, and I was guilty of it too when I first started on Instagram, especially. Facebook's always kind of been family and friends type of deal, but I'm like, just 4 years to get there and consistently doing it. You don't just open an Instagram page and post a summer's worth of everybody. It's a long. Oh, we lost him. Oh, dang. All right, we'll bring it back on. You just called it off.
I'm back.
John, it's just strictly coincidence that you popped on right when I said most of my audience is older. I apologize.
Am I back on?
Yeah, you're on. You're
All
good to go now.
Cool.
I was just talking. I was talking about Instagram still, and about just 4 years. The time it does take to be able to do that. People are like, I've been doing it for a year. I've been posting regularly. Well, okay, maybe it takes 2 years for you, or you got to make an adjustment and do your shit a little differently because what you're doing ain't working.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, and just like mindset, right? Mm-hmm. I had the biggest mindset shift when I moved here because majority of my circle and the people I interact with here they own their own businesses. And coming from where, you know, my background, that was complete opposite. Mm-hmm. In the Silicon Valley or Bay Area, for you to start your own business and be successful was laughed at almost in most scenarios, just because the cost of living, it just wasn't possible. And a lot of people do, but they're you know, exceptional. And so moving here is just crazy because it was hard to find somebody that worked for somebody else. And I was like, man, everyone's doing well. They're working for themselves. It's just different. And so once I kind of unwound that mindset and opened that up, now there's no really limit. I can do things with social. There's ways to monetize different values that you have, you know, like recently people are releasing courses on how to do things, and I'm watching these courses, and there are things that you can Google yourself, but they're helping you mitigate the time waste and the mess up and the failure, right?
That's it. That's it. You're speeding up people's processes by doing exactly that.
Yep. And so my buddy and I, who's you know, he owns his own business and media, Garrett Kerr, he's awesome. We're putting together an online course for small business owners that, you know, we get hit up constantly. How do I set up my social? How do I verify maps on Facebook or on Google? How do I do AdWords? What's important for impressions, you know? And so we're doing an online course that'll be super affordable, and we're wrapping that up in the next couple of weeks and hoping to help other people not waste time like we did when we're stumbling through the weeds, trying to figure out what's what and what impacts and what's not necessarily needed, you know?
Awesome. That guy that just hopped on, Brian Hess, is doing the same exact thing, helping business contractors in the construction industry. And he's doing it on a massive scale. He's got like the best platform on the planet to release it from. But connect with, if you need any advice on putting something like that, putting a program like that together, contact Brian. He's boss right now. He's just launching his program.
What's up, Brian?
Give me a ring. There you go. Shout out. He's on the Home of the Hustle crew now, so I follow those guys pretty tightly. They got their hands in a lot of stuff, and I'm like, let's listen to these gentlemen. So that's where that's at. Right on. So mindset, covered it. You feel good about it? You got anything you want to add to the mindset portion of this?
Yeah, I think we're good, man. I could talk on any of these topics all night, but I'll keep it.
I know, right? I value people's time so much. It's Wednesday night. We're at the 40-minute mark already. So we'll do a little bit more. But if you guys got a question for either myself or for Shelby, drop it in the comments. Definitely coming back to Idaho. Your brother says he's coming back eventually.
I'm waiting.
If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. And share this out. If you've shared it, let me know you shared it and I'll shout you out. So third one I want to go to, the third question I ask people is tools you use to keep your mindset sharp. Like you said, to speed up your process. Tools, mentors. I saw your story you posted, the podcast you're listening to this morning. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I mentioned briefly, but my faith's been like my foundation for my life, you know, and I grew up in the church, and I've had great leadership in my family for that, and it's really been nice for me. And so I try, you know, I'm not always as disciplined as I want to be. That's just going to be, I think, a lifelong thing for me. But I try to listen to this guy, Pastor Rick. He has a daily devotion. It's about 15 minutes, so I can usually listen to it while I'm driving or getting up. And it's just kind of a daily motivational thing about, life in general and your faith and how that interacts with how you conduct yourself and how you handle yourself. And so that's always a nice way to start. Of course, your circle is huge. My family, I lean on them more. Yep. I should probably be paying them fees for listening to me half the time. They're incredible, and I think there's a lot to be said about the family unit in this day especially, and the importance of that and the influence on, your kids and your parents and your brother and sister. And I've undoubtedly been able to rely on them through anything, and then
that's big.
In terms of mentors, I was actually thinking about this because I'm like, all right, who would be my mentors, right? And I was talking to my dad, and he's like, well, I've always seen you dabble in so many different disciplines, but you always have like your go-to person in each of those disciplines, So if it's moto, certain people I lean into if I have questions about whatever it may be, and business is the same way. And in real estate, a huge influence for me, especially in this transition, has been my girlfriend, Erin. She's been incredible. And I feel like the mentor, I don't have like a mentor that covers everything, and maybe I should, a lot of people have like life coaches and stuff, but I try and fill in each area of a specific concern with someone that knows that better than I do. I got tons of businesses, and they breathe into my life a ton. And I try and keep a tight circle with people that are going to help positively influence you and help other people that may need some positive influence too. So it's kind of a balancing act, and you've got people that are, where you want to be. You've got people that are at your level to grow with, and you've got people that are kind of starting that journey that you can help enable. So I think it's just cool to see how that evolves over time.
Love it. That's exactly what I've done. Is like I didn't really go for like the one whole life coach type thing. I didn't really have the funds to be like, hey, here's a lot of money, because if you want the best one, it's probably they're gonna pour a ton of value into you, but they're gonna ask for some value too. So that's what I did. I found people that have honed in on what I want to accomplish, and I reach out to them and I try to learn as much as I can from them. Pour into them a little bit. I was listening to it live actually yesterday. It was about deposits and withdrawals and seeking the wisdom and seeking knowledge from other people. You got to be putting deposits into them consistently, regularly, preferably before you ask for a withdrawal. So it kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and I kind of assessed what I had going on last night when I do a little writing every night, just kind of get what's in my head out on paper and save it if I need to and throw it in the garbage if it's one of those type of days. But I'm like, okay, and I kind of evaluated, have I been depositing? Like people like John Ferry, and he's helped me tremendously with this. And it's just being mindful that you're putting deposits out there, and you're contributing more, hopefully, than you're withdrawing from people. But you got people that are like, oh, above you. It's like, how do I add value to that guy? Well, you find out a way is how. So
for sure.
That's kind of what I wanted to go into on my if I was in real estate type thing, which I know somebody else is probably doing, but it's a simple practice. So
yep. And there's seasons of that too. There's seasons in life when you may be taking from people, and there's seasons in life when you're going to be giving more. So
yep.
And I've been in both.
Yes.
And I can't tell you how thankful I am for some of the folks that have breathed into my life when I needed it the most, and and vice versa. Hopefully I'm doing that for folks around me too. So.
You got Dylan really wants to reach out to you and your brother to help his brother. Perfect.
Shoot him a message. I'll reach out to him. Shoot me a message, or if you have my number, feel free to text me too.
Perfect. And if you guys are in the Boise area, you ride dirt bikes, you want to buy a house, you want to have some fun, mountain bikes, whatever, this is your guy. He's got the connect out there. He's got some clubs going. You got your moto page where you can connect and ride if you got a small group or whatever. That's cool.
Yeah, we're doing
that's kind of what
a bike build with Vital MX on this 150. So I'm going to be doing, the idea is to do 2 releases a month with a new part, and it'll be a progression of each part increase throughout the year. So kind of watch a mediocre dude like myself see what the benefits are of each bolt-on part that you guys all have access to. So that'll be fun.
Nice. I like that. Take them through the journey through the year.
Yep.
An evolving vlog bike build. That's rad. Where are they gonna find that at?
On
YouTube?
vitalmx.com we'll be hosting some of the content, and then of course all of it can be found on my YouTube page. Just you can Google Shelby Paget YouTube or Shelby Paget Facebook, or Ginger969 on Instagram. That's probably my most popular platform.
We totally got a ginger party going on up in here. I'm surprised we haven't been getting more shit in the comments.
I know. Right? Ginger power.
Ginger power through and through. Love my freckles.
Sure.
All right, cool. So Vital MX again, it's in I put it in the comments. You can click on that and get to their page, reach out and connect with them. Definitely they're doing some cool things in the moto world for sure. Sport or hobby in the Boise area, raising awareness to it and keeping tracks going is what I see happening.
Donnie, we got a lot of progression. I talk to you on a fairly regular basis, but I'll definitely follow up with you and let you know there's some new compound that's been constantly enhancing what they have for facilities and access. So that, in addition to all the off-road and outdoor stuff, a lot of people like to keep a lot of the local things on a low level. I'm probably the antithesis of that, unfortunately. But it's a good there, and there's people that are looking to move to Boise for specific reasons that generally
Boise's badass. I'll be the first one to say that. I like it.
I grew up surfing and skating and like riding, and I was a total SoCal kid. I still probably look like a California kid, but it's awesome. It's a great place to transition to as population increases and the place you grew up changes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nope. Boise's area is popping. There's everything. You get all 4 seasons in one day if you want them. Mountains, trails, golf's on point up there. I've been going through Boise my entire life. We got a place up in Cascade, Idaho, so we travel through there all the time. My mom and sister and aunt lived there for like 10 years. So I spent a lot of time in Boise, and I really like the town.
And the people, right? That's what.
And the people.
The people is what kind of captured me. People want to know about my day and what I'm up to, and I'm checking out at Home Depot, and I'm like, what? And that's just cool. Resonated when I first moved here, and it's just cool to have people around you that are nice and genuine for the most part.
Love it. All right, you ready to hear my strategy on what I would do if I was a realtor? Because I'm basically doing it right now. I'm basically doing it right now. This is like, okay, Shelby, I want to see you press and play on this. So the Facebook Live tool and the interview tool. Say you're a realtor, maybe you're new, maybe you've established, or maybe you're kind of from the old school realtor world where social media wasn't a factor. All right, so Facebook Live, this tool right here is positioning yourself, and like you've done with the motocross people from Southern California, they see you, they relate to you, they know, like, and trust you because they watch you either on your real estate side or your moto side, and they reach out to you because you're the expert in realty that fits them, that aligns with them, and they can get value from you because they relate to you.
Exactly.
The only way to find people to relate with you is doing things like Facebook Lives. Like, hey, that guy looks like me, talks like me, sounds like me, does the things I like to do. Start a Facebook Live show. And especially if you're new, reach out to people that have experience. Talk to other realtors and ask them to come on your show. Try to give them a little value so you're not just asking. Homeowners Association presidents for about communities and schools. Interview school leaders. Interview local contractors, mortgage assistants, escrow agents. Like every night of the week, let's have a 30-minute show on Facebook Live and talking to somebody. And then you position yourself. Maybe you don't know anything about realty, but you have your license. But you're like, wait a minute, this guy's talking to all these different people in realty, in mortgages, in construction, in school districts, anything that's relevant to realty, which is everything, communities, whatever it may be. And you now have the ability to push play and boost a post and target your perfect person you're trying to reach, which is unbelievable.
Millions of people. So cool. And that's the place where I need to strengthen. You know, I've been focused on certain aspects of my business, and I think it's time for me to start getting into what you're doing with the driven mindset and kind of put a spin on it, like what you're suggesting there with the real estate stuff.
Or focus on moto and just do what you're doing because it's working, and interview moto guys, right? Build guys, shop guys. And that's the thing, this pivots can do. I mean, I was like, it makes so much sense. And I'm like, but I can't do it. I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? Am I going to sound dumb? And I'm like, screw all of that. We're not good at anything we start. And if you are, lucky you. But like, we all suck at everything that we start, period.
And that's the hardest part, getting over that first live show, or that first, like, you know, when you're doing the selfie cam, it's kind of awkward for anybody who does it the first time. Yeah. So you have to get past that. Sure.
Little man.
Yeah.
Before bed.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's doing great.
Good.
Doing great.
Got to get him a dirt bike.
He's got 2 of them.
There you go. You're ahead of the game.
He needs a new one because he's right in between the 50 and 65. And the 50's blowed up right now. The two-stroke 50's blowed up. And I'm like, you need a 65. I got to fix this. He's got him. He loves it.
That's funny.
All right, cool. Well, we're almost at an hour. I want to thank everybody for sticking with us. If you're just joining, I really appreciate all this. Do you got anything else you want to wrap up with? Before we do that, I want you to get your sponsors and all your where people find you, watch you, learn from you, and see what you're doing.
Yeah, I think, one of the biggest themes that's been resonated for me over the last couple of years and all this journey has been just intention and follow through. You need both. And so if you have an idea or a dream, you can't just dream about it. You actually have to have intent and do it. So I think that's a huge thing. Whether you're good or bad at it, you have to do it and start before you get good at it. So that's huge. And then, I'd love to thank just the people that in my life that have supported me through, whether it be real estate or riding, great companies out there like Vital MX and Fly Racing and Recluse and, my girlfriend Erin and my family have been amazing. And all my friends, they're a network of support. And without any of that support, I couldn't be confident as I am in pursuing what I want to do every day. So
love it.
Yeah.
Love it. If you're in my network and you're friends with me and you're not connected to Shelby, what are you doing? Just shoot him a follow, shoot him a friend request.
Yeah.
Or check out what he's got going on.
I think I'm capped at the request. So shoot me a message and then I send it back to you guys.
Well, they can give him a follow and then engage on his stuff and reach out to him. There you go.
Cool, man.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Kill it this year. I can't wait to see that bike build, how it goes.
It's going to be fun.
I dug your perspective on that Vital MX 2018 shootout. It was like, that guy he's not getting all geometrical turning into the corner. It's like, it just feels sticky in the corners, and I like it. And I'm like, man, that's what I want to read. That's being real and
layman's
authentic with your. Yes,
that's a skill
right?
I've learned in my career, man. Is learning how to
use
take
layman's terms,
let people understand it in a way that's relatable. So,
woo!
Cool.
Drop some
it's all
fire
related
on that one. Nice.
Well, thanks for having
me, bro.
I greatly appreciate it. You've got a great thing going.
It. I've learned from you tonight. I can't wait to watch this replay. We'll be back in tonight, or I will, and I'll hit all these comments up. Let's get a conversation going. Let's share this out. Let's grow this network. And Shelby, welcome to the Driven Network. We're glad to have you.
It's an honor.
All right, brother.
You have a good one.
You too, man.
See ya.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, please share it out. I hope you get value from this. And Shelby touched on it. I'm going to hit it again. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, all it takes is a decision to put yourself in a position, turn your ship, get yourself headed in a direction to where you can go do the things you want to do and live the way you want to live and grow to be the person that you are inside you. It just takes a decision. Stop doing what you don't want to do. Start doing what you do want to do. Put in the work. It takes time and it takes sweat, and there's going to be some fails along the way. So I humbly thank you guys for your time tonight. Have a great week. Have a safe weekend. Jackson Hole Hill Climbs, if you're still with me, tear it up this weekend. Be safe on the mountain. Have fun. Love you all. And remember, stay driven.